Brian, we're going to have a guest on tonight, a man who won $1 million.
He sure did.
He sure did. You know, I'm excited to talk to him about his Millie Maker win, but I'm more excited to talk to Travis Pettey about winning the League of Legends live final. I mean, if there was a tournament that you could win, could you name one that you'd rather win than the League of Legends final?
Probably the tournament champions.
Okay,
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
After winning the League of Legends live final. Which was 1.1 mil.
We got one thing needed in the chat. Big day for Mans with the shout out on Levitan's POLK interview. I did get the shout out on that. We did want to talk some NEGREANU POLK. I should have reached out.
This up too. I was going to bring this up.
Yeah, no, we should talk about it. That challenge rounded up. He's been doing the rounds. He's been taking his victory lap. What was you followed it far closer than I did. What was your kind of overall takeaway on how things ended?
I think I went from like thinking NEGREANU was just like what is he doing, to like, I don't know, more respect for him, like going in as a dog, improving, you know, as he did. The whole luck thing I think seems to be a big issue going on. From watching it, not seeing their whole cards, it did seem like on Ingram's stream that NEGREANU was getting pretty unlucky, but obviously you can't really tell. So who knows? You know, I know he lost like 6 buy-ins on all in EV. That's not like the NL be all or whatever, but it was interesting. And like going through my like emotions on it was like, man, maybe I should get back in these streets to before POLK went on the tour here, kind of coming to the same conclusion he said on Levitan's pod and all these other pods. I've listened to a couple of them about the whole not bot thing, but like the whole GTO strategy, where the game's at. And he said something interesting. I don't know if he said this on Levitan's stream about his YouTube viewership. Did you hear that part?
Yeah.
Where when he started his YouTube channel, it was like a certain age range. And now as he's like, he doesn't do it anymore, but he could tell that it's more of an older audience now.
Yeah.
And I think this is just purely from Black Friday, when the government shut down poker. I don't think a lot of young guys know how popular poker was in 2006, 7, 8, 9.
That was when I found poker in like 2003. It was right before the moneymaker boom, and I was absolutely obsessed. I mean, I was the guy buying the World Poker Tour DVDs, you know, watching the old Gus Hansen clips, like all of those guys, even the random dudes from World Series of Poker, like Dutch Boyd, you know, Sammy Farhat. These guys were characters, and they were, I mean, I followed them like I did reality TV show guys.
And you get in like the old guys like Stu Unger and stuff like that, and like Johnny Moss, and like, what do they know?
Yeah.
And like remember when Barry Greenstein's book came out, Ace on the River? And I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what a piece of shit. Like that didn't help any, like I guarantee it was, you know, it's cool. It's got like cool pictures in it, and it's a nice, like, you know, solid book, and he tells some of his personal stories. All that stuff's great, but like as far as like strategy or something like that, like it's clearly like someone's like, you know, Barry, you could capitalize in the poker boom and your personality, probably sell like 30,000-40,000 copies if you just write some stupid shit in the book. And I'm sitting there like, how much is it? I don't care. I gotta get this.
Yeah.
Wow, there's play hands for Raz at the end of the book, and
I was gobbling those up. I mean, I think I read Super System. I read Helmuth's book, and he had like the different animal types that described the different type of players for whether they were tight aggressive. I think they were like a lion, or like loose aggressive was a jackrabbit or something. And I was just gobbling that shit up.
Did you? I didn't eat him up. I didn't. And I also like, I started playing before the poker boom when I was a kid, like 18 and stuff. And so I got all the Sklansky books and all that stuff. And like, even that stuff too, I'm still skeptical of the Sklansky books. I know everyone kind of loves all that shit. I'm not like a huge fan of it, but you know what book someone should write right now? Here's what I would write if I was still playing cards. Did you ever get in the blackjack streets back in the day?
I mean, not grinding it hard.
Okay. So he's here. All right. Well, we'll talk later on that stuff.
What are we talking about?
We're talking poker. We've been talking Negranu, Polk. Hang on, I gotta answer CSU's question here. How many times have you seen rounders? So Pete, when I was playing all the poker tournaments with my buddies back in high school, I would watch that before every single poker tournament. Like that was my way I would amp myself up. I've probably seen it without being hyperbolic, probably 75 times. A lot of times. How many times have you guys seen rounders?
My over-under is probably over that. My over-under would probably be like 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are out of control.
I
The whole movie? 5 times.
My roommate too, back in the poker days, he played poker too. So like he loved that movie. And so like, you know, this is like before you can watch anything you want at any second, right? So like you throw on fucking rounders, you know, and you're having a couple of drinks. Especially if the World Series, around the World Series time, you know, get you pumped up.
Fair.
Did you hear Polk said he thinks that the total viewership was higher than any World Series event? He might not have said that in that interview, but on one of them. And I'm like, maybe it is. Maybe.
What did he say for viewership?
Yeah, I think so. Like the amount of views, because it was on like 5 different channels for 30 days or something like, or however many days it was.
I feel like that's an interesting calculation to make because I'm sure the total number of just viewers scrolling through, you know, ESPN poker is like greater, but the amount of engaged fans, I would probably agree. Like people who are tuning into this are fucking engaged.
Yeah, I mean,
it's different.
So like I thought about it like with the whole GTO thing, that the average age of the poker player is getting older. I don't see a big future for it to like spend time at personally. And so like with the GTO stuff, like just really quick to go back to that book idea. One of these books, the blackjack books back in the day that were counting cards, there was a book called Blackjack Attack. It was a really good one. One of the things I remember in that book, and this is so long ago, was he had a heuristic for when you're counting cards, aces are important. You have to keep track of how many aces there are. And he just put a chart out there of like a bunch of the ace counts are meaningless or they're like meaningless enough. So if you just count, let's say these 14 combinations or something like that, I can't remember exactly what it was, you get like 98, 99% of the value, the EV out of it, instead of memorizing hundreds of things. And so like, that's the book I think someone should write for GTO poker, is you could do a lot of things like that. Where you just simplify all these solver solutions into like, in this situation, you do it 33% of the time, right? And then you could use, now they have these random, just the counters, the 1 to 100 randomizers right next to your HUD. We didn't have that back in the day, but that's exactly what I would have used too. I was thinking that before he even showed it. I'm like, I would put a HUD up on there. And like, so like back in the day when we were playing, let's say you're playing a regular pet and like, you're getting 3-bet a ton. My strategy was at the end is I would use like the ace of spades as my randomizer 4-bet, because it takes a lot of the combos away of ace king, ace queen, aces. I didn't know what the solution. I don't know how many percent of times I need to bluff 4-bet, but I know against these guys I gotta do something. So I'm like, okay, if I have the ace of spades in my hand, I'm gonna bluff 4-bet every fucking time, every rag, every single time. But like, it's much easier if you just like, it's like 5% and you just click the randomizer button and then it goes, oh, you roll the 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. It's bluff time, and then you just keep, every time you come into a tough spot, you go think about it. And this is before solvers, and you go like, I don't know, 25% of the time. And you just start memorizing what you personally think. You could come up with like your own GTO strategy. I'm talking like, 2009, 10, whatever back then. That's what I would have done had I redone this all over again.
Pettey, let people know what is your background with poker, because today I was looking for some photos for, adding to the YouTube thumbnail, and I was stumbling across some very old photos of you back in the day, I assume playing poker.
You might have stumbled across when I was playing in Argentina. I was 19. Geez, sorry guys. I was 19 years old, I think, in that video you may have came across. And it's funny you mentioned Doug. I've known Doug since I was maybe 12 or 13. We used to play Warcraft 3 against each other, actually, all the time. And then we played poker as well, and he taught me poker a bit. So we have a weird little background there.
There you go. Did you have any action down on the Negranu Polk match?
No, I burnt out of poker. I haven't been in the poker scene in so long. I played way too many hands when I was in it, and I don't even think about it anymore, to be honest with you.
Brian, that sounds like you.
That's exactly, yeah. The only thing was this challenge. I was, for some reason, I'm like, yeah, let's see what it's like. And I watched probably like 10 sessions. And it did give me a little bit of maybe, nah.
I have a CSU texting me, and he was in the chat. He wants me to ask Pettey about the Corona Poker Club, but I'm pretty sure we already talked about that last time you were on.
That was a debacle. That was great. No, when I was playing that poker club, I don't mind saying it now, they thought I was some mega shark, but I was literally using a push fold chart and just doing whatever on the side, and they couldn't figure out. They were just, everybody was way too conservative with their play, and it was just printer. There was literally no skill involved at all.
Except besides Googling.
You were in this group, and you were using a push fold chart.
It was as simple as that. I think you could literally find the first thing. It was the first thing I found. I'm pretty sure if you Google push fold chart, and I followed this thing, I didn't have to do anything.
You were just raking.
I mean, I did pretty good, but I got lucky too. A little bit of both.
And then you got, but I heard that entire poker club, and God, every time I talk about this poker club, all of a sudden Kirk Dees will just come out of the woodwork and get so mad at something I say. So I feel like I can't even say anything about the Corona Poker Club.
There was so much nonsense associated with that club. I didn't know where to start, and I don't want to start anyway.
Yeah. So Peter, sorry, don't get us started on this tangent. We're here to talk about Petteytheft. For those of you guys who don't know, took down the MILLY Maker Tournament of Champions. You've been making the rounds, doing all the big hits, DraftKings, your own Twitch stream, and now Lolz. What has it been like since shipping that MILLY?
I got to hit all the spots, right, for my tout site. That's never going to happen. No, it's been incredible. It being a Super Bowl, this Super Bowl in particular, Tom Brady versus Mahomes, Corona, and $1 million to first winner take all for a first tournament champions is like the perfect storm. It literally could not have been better.
And that was it was 40 people in the contest, right?
There was 39 people, but one had 2 entries.
You know who that was?
Who was it?
Yeah. It's RBX.
No way. It was RBX with 2 entries.
So all the MILLY Maker winners were there. So can you imagine trying to out luck box all the guys who win a MILLY? It's not easy.
So for the record, I was rooting against Pettey. I had a piece of RBX in this venture.
I mean, that's a good bet. I suck at showdown, so RBX I'm sure is way better than I am.
Was this? Did you get a piece from Discord talk, Brian? Is that where that?
Yeah. I'll tell you later. I don't think I want it. I don't know if he's cool with me talking about it. So
that's fine. RBX is a pretty chill dude. What was your? I honestly I haven't seen yet. What was your lineup that won, Travis?
So I had Gronk captain, Fournette, and then a 4-man Chiefs passing stack with Mahomes, Watkins, Hill, Kelsey.
Okay.
So
garbage.
It was complete garbage. That's when it came to me. I was like, this line is so bad it's good. I'm making good showdown lines. It doesn't work.
It
doesn't work.
For 40 man. And so I'm assuming you had the only Gronk captain in a 40 man.
There's one other.
Oh, really? 2 out of 40. So that's even worse.
I mean, in the end, I won. That's all that matters, right?
No, yeah, sure.
Process, right? Results are a process.
Yeah. We invited you on the show to actually berate you for how bad the lineup
I like
was.
RBX 88.
I'm okay with that.
I thought those were sharper.
I don't have a clue what RBX put out there. So I'm sure it was better than mine.
He actually had 3 lineups. No, two. He had 2. Yeah,
me too.
He did. I think he did one.
You're supposed to save the thing about the 3 lineups for after the show too, Brian.
He buy somebody's lineup.
1 Evans, 1 Godwin, I think. And
okay. What was your sweat like for that? I mean, the thing I don't like playing single entry 3-max showdown stuff because the sweat is so hard to track with every single play meaning so much. But what was that experience like with $1 million on the line and only 40 people?
So I only looked at so many guys in like the start of the 4th quarter because there was me and 2 other guys that had a really good chance. And then of course anything can happen next like 7 or so guys, but me and 2 other guys had the biggest chance. There was a guy in the lead, maybe 7 or 8 points going in the 4th quarter, but he had no Mahomes. He had Kelsey, no Mahomes, and I don't think any other really Kansas City players. Another guy had Kelsey captain with Mahomes, no other Kansas City guys that I remember. And then I had Watkins, Hill, with Kelsey and Mahomes. So my outs were 100% Hill and Watkins. And, Watkins didn't play a fourth quarter snap. I wasn't happy about that. We were looking for 14 every play. We're like, he's gone. He's done. And then, but Hill started coming alive at the end. It was like the perfect script to make a comeback because, Hill was going to get some catches eventually. But I needed that Hill catch, the second to last play of the game before the meals. That Hill catch put me in first place. And the Holmes interception, I was excited about it because the game was over. Kelsey can't score a touchdown. I was like, oh shit, there's actually another guy, the guy without Mahomes. I'm like, he might have just caught me.
Yeah.
So it was insane.
That would have hurt.
Oh yeah, it would hurt really bad. I didn't know where I was. Before the Hill play, I knew I was behind like 0.8 points, but so I knew I was first after that play, but I didn't know what the Mahomes play did.
Well, how clean was your sweat on Sunday? Was that the only action you had, or were you dabbling in other stuff?
Oh, I had one lineup, that single lineup, and nothing else except that tournament. I wanted to try to enjoy the event because I'm a mess when I watch games. Like I think I'm pretty calm compared to most people, but I overanalyze everything. I just wanted to go to the game and have a good time. And
were you there?
Yeah, we were all there. I'd say about, yeah. Oh yeah, I should have said that first. There are probably about 85-90% of the people that were in the tournament went to the game.
Okay, I saw a photo of Bobby Gomes and RBX88 on Instagram from there, and I wasn't sure if that was like a Boston DraftKings party or what that was. So you guys were all in Tampa. No,
that was RBX's personal party that he invited all us to because he's so rich with all his money makers. He decided to invite. No, I found myself in his party. No, it was a DraftKings party.
Okay.
Yeah, I met RBX there and his crew of guys, but yeah, we all had suites there. We had like 3 suites or whatever between the 100 whatever people there, the employees and the players and plus ones. It was awesome. There
you go. Any good stories from the weekend?
Oh man, so I got there Saturday night. I'm kind of COVID conscious, so I don't want to be there too long. Everybody had a test every day. I get there probably around 6 p.m. to the party. And unfortunately, I decided to try to make up for lost time and get to the alcohol real quick. I left there at midnight. I probably had like 4 or 5 Jack Cokes, 2 or 3 old fashions, and I was just destroyed. The Super Bowl day was not fun. Outside the whole experience in winning, it was tough. My stomach was crushed because all they had at the event was like oysters and fancy food. I just wanted a hamburger.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. So I had nothing in my stomach. I flew that day and I drank way too much. And my stomach was crushed the next day. So, if I lost, the Super Bowl experience would have been a lot different.
I've had those times. A lot of times I fly out to San Diego and then drive out for a Vegas weekend with my buddies. And my hardest night is the first night in San Diego. And I'm pulling into Vegas, just hung over out of my mind. I'm like, what did I do? Like, I'm not going to make it through this weekend. Why can't we pace ourselves?
No, the funny thing is, like, everybody after I won, they're like, "You won? You didn't move the whole night." I was like, I couldn't move. I didn't want to move. I was content just sitting there watching the game and enjoying it that way.
We got a question from Dave here. True or false? You threw up on Super Bowl Sunday?
No, I wish I did. It would have been a lot easier if I did. The guy next to us, this after Super Bowl night, next morning, was puking his mind out. I don't know who was next to me in the hotel. I don't know if he was a fancy sports guy. Probably was. He was dying. But no, I was in the mode where you chuck water and you're hoping things go better. I remember the bus was pulling up to the game. We're probably half a mile away from the game, but we're such bad traffic. I told the bus driver, like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I got to get out of here. He tells me, no, you can't go out the side door. Like, there's traffic. I'm like, so what are we going to do? He gets out of the bus in the median, and I go down his driver's side door, just run to the Checkers across the street. And the traffic was so bad that I was able to like power walk my way 5 minutes later back to the bus and get back on the way to the Super Bowl game. It was rough.
What was that? Have you done any traveling before that in the COVID era? Like what was that experience like, being at this event, this celebration, this party, but being conscious of all that?
Oh, the people there in Tampa Bay don't give a shit. It was different being from California. They don't care at all. It was wild. I felt relatively safe because we were in a suite. Everybody in there was tested and whatnot daily, other than like the servers or whatnot, which is like 1 or 2 people. But I felt pretty good, being out in the streets, I would never have done that. People there are nuts.
Did you guys see the Tom Brady footage from today at their party?
Good for him. I did see that.
Brian, did you see those clips?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, did you go for the Tournament of Champions? Was just if you won any of the Millie Makers, correct?
Yeah,
Not
I
quite.
wish I was invited.
Not quite. It was Millie Makers best ball. Oh, that's another good story. I was sitting around with the guy who made it via best ball, and Neil Orfield, I think his name is. He made it as well. He won a Millie Maker. He asked the guy next to him. I don't know if it's the +1 or the guy. I think it was the guy. He's like, "What's your screen name?" The guy's like, "I'm not sure. Let me look at my phone." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." He might have been the +1, but I'm not positive. It sounds a lot better when I say he's the best ball champion. So
Did he? Keep it that way.
I hope he was one of the guys that when everyone lost their mind when they were giving out the free tickets and people were getting Devontae Adams in the 3rd round, he was just like, "Yeah, man, I just hopped into a draft and all these guys were falling to me." That is incredible.
It was, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I'm not maybe as bad off in this tournament as I thought I was going in. I don't know how he finished, but yeah, when I heard that was good.
Wow. What else did they have as part of the event experience?
So Thursday Thursday was like the welcome thing, same thing. I think every night ended at the restaurant, and there's like a sweat whatever games they have gone, all you can eat food and drink. Friday they did catamaran in the morning, and I think they did like an NFL Super Bowl experience during the day on Saturday. Ugh. Where it's like you can punt, pass, kick thing. I would love to do that. The kid in me wants to do that and see how I can do.
Wait, did you not do it?
No, I mean I got there Saturday night.
Oh,
so I missed all those events. But everybody said that it was horrible because you had to wait in lines, and they didn't realize they gave you like a RFID thing on your wrist that you could skip all the lines with, being from DraftKings. So a lot of people screw that one up.
There you go.
I can't stand that shit. Hey, you get to meet an NFL player. I don't fucking care.
Virtually too for those as well. Those are virtual.
Wow. Yeah, I think I got invited. Actually, I got invited to one of those stupid fucking things. Like, why do I want to fucking talk to some 20-year-old douchebag? Like, he's just an idiot athlete. Who gives a fuck? Like, what's wrong with you people?
I just got it. Next time it's your birthday, Brian, I'm gonna get you a cameo from like
Cameo's
Grossman or something.
Like, I want a Jose Canseco cameo. I'll take that.
Okay.
But like, as a bit, I don't want to talk to these people.
That's what the cameo's for, though.
What 20-year-old do you want to have a conversation with?
I think it'd be pretty cool to talk to an NBA player who's 20-something years old. I'm sure there's some crazy stories.
Okay, and they're going to tell you this on the 15-minute promotional event. Yeah, I'm sure. No, it's going to be some stupid bullshit with fanboys.
I did just rip through. Jared Dudley has this new book out about his time in the bubble, and some of the stories were pretty good about them hanging out in LeBron's suite, drinking wine, and just what that whole experience was like. But generally, I'm with you, Brian, on that. The difference.
I'm a bit of a hardliner.
You're a bit of a curmudgeon. I think just let these people have their fun interacting with these celebrities, Brian.
I don't say anything. I mean, I'm on my show, so I'm saying it now, but I don't attack people.
I think, Brian's just bitter, Travis, going to the Millie Maker events, meeting people. I'm friends with Patrick Laird, and Brian's just kind of here holding his dick at home in Chicago.
My beefy sausage.
You got to keep in mind, as you said, there are a lot of fanboys there and whatnot. You're Brick 75. It's not a big deal to you. It's just no big deal. You probably go out somewhere, hit somebody with his DM, like pro athlete shows up. But for these people who don't know their screen name on DraftKings, it's a big deal.
I went to one DraftKings event. One of the guys there asked me my screen name. I'm like, Brick 75. He's like, really? I brought one of my buddies from home, and he's like, that guy was like impressed by your screen name.
I heard Brian goes out with the Chipotle Bros in Chicago, and they call themselves the Pussy Posse, and they're just kind of fending off women left and right. There's
only one Chipotle Bro here, so
okay.
It's funny you say that. The only guy I've ever gone out with, like outside of the event, was Papa, the Chipotle Bro, and he's good with the females.
Oh, there you go, Brian.
Yeah,
there you go. How much of your lineup did you have set before you got absolutely plastered?
I had absolutely nothing set. I haven't played football in a month, so I got to my laptop in the morning. I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? I don't even remember what I'm doing here. I haven't played Showdown in probably 2 months. So I actually made a lineup initially, and I asked a buddy, like, hey, what do you think about this lineup? He's like, dude, that's the Blitz Optimal 1. I'm like, shit, that's not good. That's horrible. So I ended up just excluding Ronald Jones because I thought he was way too underpriced. And I'm like, shit, I'm just going to roll with this. And that's what came up. It looked horrible, which is probably a good thing, is my opinion.
Wow. Shout out Derek Carty. You know, you just make the slight pivot off the Carty optimal and you're rolling.
And funny thing about, go back to what Brian said about, somebody recognizes his name. I had somebody come up to me at the thing. I'm like, he's like, you're Petteytheft. I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, do you play FanDuel NBA anymore? I'm like, yeah, I play every night. You just don't see me. I've got my ass kicked for months. It's been horrible.
Yeah.
They can't search my name. I'm not the top of the leaderboards ever anymore.
Yeah, that's the worst.
No, it was. I got that a couple times actually in the last week or so.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm still personally most jealous of you winning the League of Legends championship because I fired a bullet in that. I believe I was sweating it on a golf course. Whatever lineup I ran just crashed and burned. For you to win that, Brian and I built this show brick by brick on League of Legends, and for you to just sweep in and win that, I mean, that was so tilting.
And then that's how I got the ticket to the event, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, yeah. Most of these guys won MILLY makers and whatnot. I won a League of Legends championship. I was by far the smallest first place prize I got to that event. I was the fish.
Brian, how does that make you feel? You and I parlayed our League of Legends fandom into this, very moderately successful podcast. Travis rolled it up into $1 million.
Yeah, I think that's about even.
I mean, and I hate to break it to you, but it was a little more than that because they gave me a badass ring on top of it.
Yeah, let's see the ring. I saw that on your DraftKings hit. Don't act like it's not on your desk. You already put it in the cold storage?
No, the problem is that every time I leave it on my desk, my fiance's like, what the hell are you doing? This thing is worth more than a couple bucks.
Let's see. Get the ring.
I think I saw it. Wasn't it like diamond encrusted?
It did look like a really sick ring.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
dude. Do you know if they give those out if you win the mini max? I just need a realistic goal.
I think they have a smaller version of it. That's the mini version. It's perfect.
It's just one of those ring pops.
Yeah, those things are pretty cool. Actually, I don't mind a ring pop.
I actually like that because they sometimes give the belt, right? That was something too. Like the ring is way cooler.
Oh, the ring's way cooler, but like, what am I going to use the ring for? This ring is heavy. It's legitimately heavy. I can't. My fingers get tired putting that on.
Come on, that's how you gotta start doing curls with your ring finger, I think.
No, Pete, I was saying afterwards, someone was like, "You gonna wear it?" I'm like, right now, I'm wearing an Adidas sweater, some random jeans. Like, I can't wear that at a football game with all these people around that are dressed up way nicer than I am. It doesn't fit.
You just need to go like the Ali G mode and just wear tracksuits and just be all blinged out.
I mean, I think that would be a better look with that. It makes sense at least. Just some baller who doesn't give a shit. But like, I actually have like a nerd's outfit on. It didn't work.
There you go. Brian,
did you meet Woo Woo?
Yes, I did.
Dude, is he a party animal?
He was just slamming Bud Lights in the back with his dad. He was having a good time. I didn't know it was him until more or less like the day of the suite. Like, he was in my suite with me, and I kind of talked to him a little after I won. He was so happy for me. He was a lot better of a guy to get first than I would. I would have been bitter, pissed, and salty. He was really nice. He was happier for me than most people than like myself. I felt like he was really nice. He was really, really nice.
Did you see? He's slamming the high stakes, right? He's up there. I'm assuming you.
Oh, I've noticed. He's kicked my ass for months now.
Mm-hmm. I've been seeing it.
You know how in poker they're constantly saying, I might have already said this line before, whatever. I do a million shows. You know how they say in poker, like, is this good for poker? I think Woo Woo guy is good for DFS.
Oh, he's great. He seems like he's a very smart guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's hard to tell with guys with quick success whether they're going to hold on or not, because guys come and go real quick. But he's 100% sharp enough. I wonder if he's too nice for the DFS streets. You got to have a little anger in you, I feel like. A little fire.
Brian, I just want to say that you've gone from posting memes that are not that flattering about RBX88 on Twitter to now taking a piece of him in the Tournament of Champions. I mean, this is the narrative arc of the DFS century, I would say.
Those memes were ball-busting memes. They were that memes.
That was RBX's revenge to you. You probably took a big piece of him. He's like, you know what? I'm going to screw Brian over. I'm not going to win.
And then RBX88, he comes on the podcast, he slides in the Discord, and now he's going to be the best man instead of me. I know it.
He's going to be pissed off that Petteytheft is on here because he's been trying to come back on here as another Millie Maker winner. And we took his opportunity.
I always DM with RBX88 on Instagram because he's not on Twitter, and he knows the deal that he has to win a Millie Maker to come on the show because that's been the circumstance. But he in his head,
he's been on here like 3 times.
He's like, yeah, I'll just see you next time I win a Millie. I'm like, yeah, you will.
He probably will.
He probably honestly will.
Oh my god!
I heard someone told me the story that he won a golf Millie with a burger who's mega shock, and he won lineup with burger on it or something like that. Something crazy.
His core fell apart. It was just a one-off lineup.
What a feeling that must be.
Yeah. Well,
what was it? What you said you ran into his crew there? What's the RBX88 crew like?
Yeah, I feel like I was about to leave the first night. And then I might be blur. It was a blur, but I feel like I ran into him, and he stopped me at the door or something, and he introduced himself. I'm thinking to myself, I'm way too shit faced to do this right now. But he was really nice. His crew were nice guys. I met Bobby just as about to leave. So my fiance is like, who are those guys? Like, oh, that guy's won way more Millie Makers than I have. He's a real baller, and Bobby too. Bobby won the first Millie Maker.
Yeah, I can't go to one of these things. Because I will stay up till 6, 8 in the morning with these guys. I guarantee it's probably what happened.
I mean, I tell myself every time I go to these events, just have a good time, but don't go nuts. Just relax, enjoy yourself. And
it's too fun.
It is a good time, because I do enjoy talking DFS, and it's cool to talk to guys who are, not pros as well. They have normal jobs. There's a lot of big boy jobs in these events, like lawyer, doctor, everything.
And it's this whole, you see this concept play out too. It's the same reason, we like doing shows, because DFS and a lot of this gambling stuff is a solitary endeavor, lots of time at your computer by yourself, locked in. It's fun. And then you get to meet up with people under these circumstances. It feels like a wedding, right? You just want to party and just have fun.
No, it's really true. I can only sit here so many times by myself and tilt Chris Boucher going off before, I lose my mind.
Yeah.
Is he going off?
He had a 2 ppm first half. He played 8 minutes. He's pretty damn tough.
Nothing's happening. He's fine.
All right. I'm legally obligated to ask on every stream I do, what are Pettytheft's thoughts on Top Shot?
Oh, God. How much time do I have?
Yes, this is what I need. I need some cold water.
I do have to do some swapping a little bit, but I got about 10 minutes.
Wait,
I have a lot of thoughts about Top Shot. I think it's ridiculous because, first of all, I'm a huge NBA fan. I think trading cards are cool, but I think they're overpriced. So I don't have any personally, but I get it. I get it. I should be and I have a little bit of disposable income too. I should be the target audience for the Top Shots. And I understand the crypto, whatever that is, the blockchain. And I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever. You're buying these moments that some of these moments have 5,000 plus of the same thing. And plus, by the way, there's also another moment on YouTube. You can buy the same exact thing of all these things. It's to me, it makes no sense. I don't get it. I think that the market is just what it is because everybody's making a quick buck. So it looks easy. I have no clue who's buying these moments at certain prices. I think there's some sketch things going on. I can't prove it, so I'm not going to say it's 100% happening. But if I was a site owner and I didn't care morally about, anything, I would be buying these moments up with all the money they make it and building interest. On top of that, you can't withdraw, so people have all their money still on the site. They have certain people on Twitter that are influencing stuff and telling people, "Hey, this is great, buy." And
are you talking about someone that's doing Top Shot streams?
Look, No. I don't know what streams you do. I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about.
I'll fuck it. I brought you into this world, and I'll bring you out, Travis.
No, I don't know if you have a piece of this company, but I feel like there are people who may have a piece of the company. I feel like there are people who may have a piece of it or being paid to promote it because it's excessive the amount they talk about it.
Okay, can we talk about this in two ways here, really quick? So
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Two things here. First one is, do you have any crypto? Any Bitcoin?
Yes.
Okay. And are you quick answer? Are you bullish, bearish? I'm assuming bullish.
I'm bullish.
Okay. How about any NFTs?
No.
Okay. And then the second thing then would be this: are they legit or not? But Peter, why don't you talk really quick.
Oh no, I was just making jokes.
Okay,
so change my mind. Change my mind here. I would love to, but my mind changed. Other than making a quick buck, which is obviously
I'm not changing your mind. I just think that the characterization of like a business owner who could like screw his customers or something, I think that's pretty rare and stupid as a business owner to try to screw your customer, especially when it's something this large. When you have an NBA exclusive contract, I think that's super unlikely and just illogical from a business owner's perspective. You can go ahead. It seems like you want
so I don't. It's not necessarily screwing the people over by buying the moments and hyping them up, though. Like I guess it's not a victimless crime because it's building interest in something and making it seem like there's a lot more money on the site than there actually is. But I would put that past somebody I don't know.
And so they have responded. Peter's going to know this better than me, but they have responded. Like some of the owners or one of the owners has a bunch of cards, but the plan is that like they're going to delete those cards. They were using them originally for like promotional things and giving them away and stuff like that. So they do have a response for some of that. But yeah, more broadly, like when you have this golden goose, I think it's illogical to fuck around like that. It doesn't make any sense. These guys can easily make a couple mil a year. You know what I mean? Or who knows how big it can get. So like, I don't see them playing around in any games. Peter, do you have anything to talk about there?
Well, I think I would say to Travis, and I understand what's hard to untangle the individual self-interests versus the overall ecosystem and like the long-term viability of that. Personally, like I've made a point of going out on these streams and I'm not pushing this as like, this is a long-term investment vehicle. Like personally, I think that, but what I'm saying to people is this is fun. This is a casino. This is arcade. This concept of digital collectibles is very fun. It's a really fun game to engage with. But I have been very personally making sure that I'm not pumping bags. Like that's been a concern of mine because I hear that from people like you.
You know, it may be the time we're in right now with the whole GME thing, the GameStop that, you know, I had friends who bought GameStop at 300. I'm just like, what are you doing? It's just the hype. You know, you get this insane FOMO to buy these things. And I mean, all you hear about Top Shot is returns, ROI. But then like, I hear you can't withdraw. And I have a lot of friends who are into Top Shot. You can't withdraw. You know, I see the guy who owns it, the Raham or whatever his name is. He just a lot of empty promises and empty words. He says a lot without it seems like doing much to me. You know, and to me, it rubs me the wrong way. But you know, everybody's making money and everybody's happy. But at some point, I feel like the market's gonna come crashing down. And I just wonder where the liquidity is even coming from right now. I don't know who's buying these expensive moments.
Yeah. And I had a sobering realization. I was telling this to Brian right before we went on. I was getting my crypto off of original Binance today, a bunch of shit coins I had bought, 4 years ago. And Binance was locking me out. They wanted to put me on Binance US. I'm having to download wallets for these privacy coins I had bought, Monero and Zcoin. I'm having to run full noids and GUIs and all of this stuff just to get my crypto. And I was like, what the fuck was I thinking back then? And I think it's fair to have this skepticism about this build. Or about this kind of NFT world right now. But there is also this idea of, where this is going. I do feel pretty confident that NFTs are very much going to be a part of our world going forward. And the question is, am I buying a shit coin or am I buying Bitcoin? Because I do think there's probably a Bitcoin within this space right here. It's just hard to know what that is. And I feel like with Top Shot and their NBA license, they're pretty well positioned.
That's fair. And that's fair. And I'm, you guys, as you say, you've been in the shit coins as well. I was in that too. I remember having Dragon Chain and I bought on the ICO at like 5 cents. And I was a true baller back then, man. It was up to like $5 at one point. I felt like I figured out the next best thing ever. And all of a sudden now you look back, I think it's 5 cents again. I sold maybe 5% of my bag. Yeah. Yeah.
But we can also say a lot of these criticisms about other companies, businesses, Bitcoin, you could have said this about, who know, if Bitcoin would have went busto, we would look like fools too. So like, I'm just on team, allow people to, assess their own risk and make their own decisions. I think this whole financial declaring that you're not a financial advisor regulations is a bunch of stupid bullshit.
So Travis, I would, and like, I'm saying this sincerely because I'm constantly conscious of this because I've been doing streams and I like want to be 100% responsible and set realistic expectations for people. And so I'm not asking this from like the devil's advocate point of view, but like, what's the difference if I'm like hyping up DFS and I do my streams and I'm like, I love DFS. This is so fun. I play the spy. I'll throw some in the Millie Maker. I know that long term, maybe me personally, I'm slightly EV, but I might be a losing player. What's the difference in me pulling people in, making DFS seem fun when they're probably going to be long-term losers versus me like hyping up NFTs or Top Shot? And I'm like, I'm having fun. You can get in. You'll probably lose money long run, but this is something that's fun.
I think that's a very fair point. And that's something I struggled with a lot when I, was initially going into Twitch and whatnot and trying to like, I don't understand how there's so many of these tout sites and like the most touts are losing players, right? I didn't understand that why people would sub to these sites, but it's more than just winning, right? It is a fun factor. That's why some of these sites with, I'm not gonna name names actually, but there's some big touts that are losing players, clearly to me, but maybe not to average Joe, but like they're fun. People love them. And that makes complete sense. I get that. But I think right now everybody's having more fun because the gains are just been insane right now. Nobody is losing a Top Shot. And I think that's what's driving the market right now more than anything. And at some point, in my opinion, it's going to bubble. And I know it's not like the angry guy, angry old man yelling at the clouds, but like I've seen this before with shit coins where, and I get the point where like everybody make your own decisions. You are responsible for your own stuff, but man, there are a lot of not smart people out there that cannot afford to be losing money on these kinds of things that will lose money on it. And it just creates such a big issue for these people. And I feel bad. I feel bad. And I'd say at the same time as someone who's gambled professionally for a long time, and I'm taking money from these same exact people.
Yeah, I don't feel that way at all. I think, Peter, you're doing nothing wrong. You just like these things and you're having fun. People should assess their own risk. Value is subjective. So, and you have no right applying your values to someone else. So whatever someone wants to do, listen, there are people of all sorts of intelligence levels that do these things at differing rates. So you'll play high stakes cash game with a doctor who sucks at poker. And that's none of your fucking business. He's smarter than you probably, but he sucks at poker and you're going to beat him. So there's all sorts of levels to this, and in life is in general too. People will buy expensive shoes, expensive shirts, and it's none of your goddamn business that it costs $2 to make that shirt and they want to pay $400 for it. Okay. So like whatever value someone subjectively applies to something is their own choice. And we can't go around, and I'm just speaking like legislatively here. That's why I don't like this type of talk, is because that's what it leads to, is the state getting involved and using force and coercion to stop people from doing something like this. It's ridiculous. As long as you're not committing fraud and you actually enjoy these products, Peter, have at it. And just because Bitcoin went up and one of these things might go down doesn't mean you did something wrong. And just because that stupid Canadian company that I went under and I lost money on the DFS site, like that's not like someone's fault for promoting that site. What was the name of that stupid site?
I don't want to name all the sites. I don't remember anymore. Is it Fancy?
Yeah, that happens. Okay. Yeah, that happens. But I do really quickly with the, I know you got to go, Pat, but this is kind of like a more like high level view of what I think is going on here. And this could be totally wrong, but I really think this has to do with the Fed and the money printing, where everyone is getting rich off of every fucking Randone's getting rich off of stock. Pete's getting rich off of NFTs, right? Someone else is getting rich off of the $4 million guy you had on your show, Adam. He's getting rich off of Top Shots. There's people getting rich off of Bitcoin. No one can make a mistake now. And I think that's just because assets are getting inflated. Yeah, and I think we just can't tell. And so it's like you can't be wrong here. So as long as you're not holding dollars, like at least you got a chance, I think. This is not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I really think that like a lot of this stuff is part of this gigantic bubble that we started in 2008, and just prices are skyrocketing. And people, I think there's a lot of signal being missed here. And I don't know where it's going to drop and what ball's going to drop, but like talking like that someone shouldn't tout up Top Shot and stuff is like, you're missing the forest for the trees here. What you should be doing is complaining about the fucking Fed. That's what you should be complaining about. Not Peter or some other guy going, hey, invest in Bitcoin.
No, and I don't think that Travis is complaining about me.
I'm not talking about Travis here. I'm just making like a general.
Trust me, I don't take anything you say personally either. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I disagree with a lot of that, and I would love to go at another thing. But I completely understand what you're saying. I get it. I just maybe I'm overprotecting you, but you said it yourself, right? We're in a massive bubble right now, and at some point, it's not going to be fun and games anymore for a lot of people.
Let me be clear. Like, if you want to personally say something like, "I think this is wrong. This is a bad investment. People shouldn't be doing that." I have no problem with that at all. I'm just saying from getting the state involved, I do have a problem with that, and I have a problem with you like approaching your legislator saying we need to protect these stupid people.
That's fair.
Okay,
and
I agree.
And Travis, I think what you're saying, and the tough thing to untangle is people from, like, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'm having fun. This stuff is fun for me to interact with, but sometimes that is hard to untangle for people who have direct financial incentives for hyping up qualities about a thing that they might reap benefits of that someone else won't reap those same benefits. I'm guessing that's kind of what you're hinting at.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason I didn't go in or haven't gone into like building my own site or whatnot. You know, I feel like if I'm putting out my own website, I got to put my best stuff. If I'm not putting my best stuff, I'm misleading people, and I don't want to do that. And that's why I've never gotten into building my own site.
But you could still provide quality information without your best stuff. There's other ways to do it.
I hear you, but people are not going to petteytheft.com hoping for like my 75% stuff. They want what I know, and I don't want to provide that. So
that's for sure. Yeah, in these singular instances, I think that's admirable and a good way to do business too. But just like generally speaking, though, I don't think what you were saying there, Peter, is like that someone's looking out for themselves or something like that. Self-interest, rational self-interest is like a good thing. They're not doing this just to fucking screw you, right? Like the division of labor, and you being in your self-interest is a good thing, right? So like the doctor can be a doctor and deliver Amazon shit, but it's good that he just does. He's just a doctor, so he could take care of the guy who's delivering a truck, who could give us our product so we can work here. And this is how society functions. It's like, I don't know. I can't stand this type of that like people are out to get that every business owner is out to get you. Like, I don't see it that way.
That's fair.
Travis, do you have to go?
I do have to go, or else I'm going to be a lot poorer, unfortunately.
No, you got to.
Who is out?
Brian needs to know who he needs to late swap to.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't been paying attention. It looks like
no one's out.
Looks like there's a potential injury though with Roby.
Yeah, there's Chris Paul at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So I got to change stuff around, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, Travis. No, and we appreciate you coming on. We didn't mean to get into a contentious argument about Top Shot responsibility.
When you win $1 million, you got to put your big boy pants on.
This is what Lolz does.
I mean, the funny thing is I'm putting all my money in Top Shot, so it's going to work out for me anyway.
He's trying to drive the market down.
Yeah. I'm influencing right now.
Is this your second Millie?
No, I've never won one before. That's my first.
Okay. I thought you won one before. Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Travis,
buddy.
Where can people find you? You did a Twitch stream. I know some people have followed you on the Twitch streets. Are you going to get back in those more regularly now?
No, I was just like to say what's up. I've wanted to get back on there it's been like half a year, and I just want to say what's up, and it seemed like a good time. Yeah.
All right, we'll let you go. Get to your late swaps. We appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations on the million. Congratulations on the ring, and let us know your Top Shot username. We'll send you a gift here sometime soon.
I actually made one on the plane because I was trying to get that 1K pack, but I don't even remember what it is. But I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, buddy. What a loser.
Dude, that fucking guy, man.
He doesn't even like Top Shots.
No, that's the beauty of it. I love that. Hey, God, I didn't even hear your experience too.
I was kidding, by the way. Travis is cool. I'm cool.
No, we love Travis, and we appreciate Travis coming on. What was I was like, so on Saturday, we had gone, like, our friends invited us over to do a bonfire at their house. So we were going over, we were doing a bonfire. It's freezing cold. We're by the fire, and I've got my fucking phone up, waiting in a queue to try to buy $1,000 pack that I wasn't going to tell my wife I was trying to buy. Didn't get it. What was your experience on Saturday?
I went in the queue, right in the queue, was in your Discord. and immediately popping up, people are getting packs, dude. And so my first thought was, all right, people are fucking with people, and Pete's gonna have to start banning guys because that's not cool, man. Like, you can't just start saying this type of FUD, and then I'm gonna leave the and then I'm like, wait a second, maybe this is true.
No, it was really fun. And like, I again, talking about personal responsibility, like my Discord has gotten very big, the Top Shot Discord specifically, like big relative to the rate of growth of my Discord from fantasy and other stuff. And I've added mods, we call them bouncers, in there just to handle these kind of situations, because I was legitimately worried. And my wife's like, why are you on your phone, like on the bonfire? I'm like, I'm making sure no one's being like unreasonable after everyone's so pissed off. Like, I don't know, like it literally ruined the fun for me for a while. My buddy John was sending me a message and he said, someone in your Discord was asking, is Pete okay? Because I just took a few steps back for like a few days of not going in there, because I'm like, guys, we're just having fun. Like, you're mad because you couldn't give $1,000 to buy a pack. Like, I get that the EV was good, but like, they're in fucking beta and they're working shit out. And like, this is no longer fun for me when you guys are losing your goddamn minds. Like, was it awful in there during that period?
Okay. Now I'm starting to feel what you were kind of getting at there with Pettey too, a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So like, because this is out of your control too. So like, if Top Shot goes, but I'm saying like you might feel like a personal responsibility if Top Shot, it does turn out these guys are scams or something, whatever. Let's just say it just goes under for any reason. You're like, holy shit, I just spent like, 2 months pumping this up. I have a Discord. And whereas like, let's say you're making your own DFS projections. Like, you're like, listen, these are my DFS projections. What do you want? Like, they were good or they were bad. They won, they didn't win. I'm sorry, you lost money, but like, the deal here, where like, this is kind of like out of your hands. So it's like, I imagine that's like a different feeling.
I think the thing, if I can get real, it was like my Discord has grown like proportionally to my stuff. And the people that come in were people who are fans of my stuff and they like my content like that. And it was this community of people that were just fans of me and wanted to find like-minded people. And it was great. And then this Top Shot influx happened, and you have a lot of people who are in the like, I want a quick buck, I want the information, how do I get rich, how do I make money? And so it was the first time I had this influx of users, and I've seen how the Top Shot general Discord goes. It's an absolute shit show. We joke about toxicity. Everything in my life, Brian, it starts as a bit and then it becomes real. I joked about esports toxicity because I didn't have to deal with it. I actually had to start dealing with toxicity in my own Discord. Yeah. And I'm like, I just want this to be a place for like-minded, smart, rational human beings. And when I feel that slipping out of my control, and not that I'm trying to like fucking censor people, but just wanting a good community, I feel sick to my stomach. And I see the OGs from my stuff and they're like, oh, this Discord sucks now, or it's not like it used to be. And that makes me feel like shit. Because there's a lot of people who are in here because they don't want to be a part of this. They just want to know what fucking cool cat to buy.
I don't know. Well, the second part, I don't know. I do want to say one thing, like as a freedom of speech angle, where I'm sure you know where I am on that. That's your like private property. Essentially, I know it's a Discord server. And so banning people is not a violation of any liberty principle in your own private Discord.
I banned one person, and a guy who immediately texted me and was like a friend of the show and had been like a fan of mine for a long time. But like, I haven't had to ban people yet, but I don't know. I feel a responsibility for the experience of people who were there because of me in that community. And now that's somehow ruined. And maybe that's wrong, but I feel that.
Yeah. No. That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. And it's tougher because it's not your proprietary, property. You're not. No. It's not like you can go like talk to your CEO and be like, listen, we got to right the ship here. Like you have nothing to do with it. I still think you may be beating yourself up a little bit on it. Like, cause it really doesn't like you, as long as you're legitimately excited about something, like you shouldn't really, I think, feel any any moral responsibility for it. You know, as long as you're not sitting there shilling, like, because like I watch some of these YouTubers who do like videos, and you could tell like they're done on the topic, but they're still doing it because they get so many views. I don't know if you've ever saw that, and you're like, this guy's just not enjoying it anymore. And it's like, as long as you're not like that's even there, I would say that's kind of like at least 50-50, like morally. But yeah, as long as you're not there, like you're not doing fraud, go ahead, sir.
No, and one thing I am really good about, I will not do shit that I don't enjoy. If I don't feel like making fucking Top Shot videos, I won't make Top Shot videos. If I wake up and I don't feel like doing Lolz, I will tell you, Brian, I don't feel like doing Lolz. I only do stuff that I like. There's so much shit I could have done. And I'm not even like, you know, bragging or whatever. I could grow my YouTube channel so much fucking faster if I wanted. I know the playbook. I know how to do it. I was literally talking about this the other day with my wife, but I would burn out. It would be things I wouldn't enjoy. I only do things I enjoy. So I feel good about how I talk about Top Shot. I continue to make efforts to talk about it in realistic ways and what people can get out of the experience. But the Discord thing was something where I felt like I had this community, and then it kind of unfurled out from underneath me. And I think it's going all right. But it did make me feel shitty for a little bit there that, you know, people who came into the Discord originally weren't getting the experience they thought. And now it basically turned into a Top Shot general adjacent Discord. That is obviously much better than the Top Shot main Discord, but it wasn't the community that I cultivated.
Yeah, I like going to yours more than theirs. That's for sure. Like I usually go to yours for quick news. So I mean, it definitely has some utility to it. Like you remember? I don't know why it's popping. My brother sent me this short YouTube video of Neo Geo. Do you remember the video game system? It might be before your time, but it was like the super powered up Nintendo. So it had like whatever, I don't know, like 32-bit graphics back when it was 8-bit days or whatever. Yeah. Like $800 and like $200 for a game and shit like that. And it TurboGrafx 16. I don't know if you remember that one. You know, what if you were the guy back then? There was the internet like this, and you're like, no, this system's awesome. This system's great, right? And it shits the bed. Yeah. Like, is that your? Like, if you're legitimately think this is an awesome system, and it turns out that, you know, I mean, businesses fail all the time, constantly. Yeah. Like, I don't know what. Like,
it's so funny too. Like, I even heard Travis say, like, everyone assumes that like that we're getting a piece of the cut from Top Shot. People are like, do you have stock in Top Shot? And every time I'm like, I fucking wish I had stock in Top Shot. Like, I'm literally, if anyone wants to know the financial benefit I've had on Top Shot, it's maybe making like $34 on YouTube ads across a few different streams. Like, that's the financial benefit from Top Shot. So
people probably think these YouTube ads pay like for the mortgage or something.
Yeah, if you want me to release my tax returns on my YouTube ads, I will for you. So yeah, I think that was a tough thing because I just felt a level of responsibility on it than I had ever thought on anything else, because DraftKings is so established, or a best ball market is so established. No one's calling you a fraud. No one's accusing you if I say draft Laviska Shenault. No one's like, Pete's pumping his bags. He's financially benefit by telling you to draft Laviska Shenault.
But isn't that kind of an admission of like, it's almost elitist thinking there, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, no idiot would know that DraftKings isn't this gambling thing, right? Like, it's so well established that anyone who wants to play, I'm not responsible. But this thing's new, so like I am responsible. But it's really just like you're saying what Pettey was saying. There's a bunch of stupid people. There's a bunch of stupid people. We got to look into this. Really got to think about the stupid people, right? I don't think so. Like I said, smart people played poker and lost money to me, smarter than me, you know, all the time. I lost money to people who were dumber than me. I do it in DFS daily.
Yeah.
Like, this shit happens all the time. And you know, like lumping people in, like they have no ability to assess their own risk. I think it's like kind of like a modern last decade type of thought process, which, by the way, 6 years ago, I would have been right on that gravy train too. I would have been saying the exact same thing. Like, well, we got to protect these people. But what's the difference? The market overlap between Top Shot and DFS is probably pretty goddamn big. But like for one, you're like, no, they should know better. The other one, you're like, no, I need to protect them. It was like the same people. You know what I mean? Like, we got to let people, you know, have their own subjective value and assess their own risk and go about their fucking lives.
Yeah.
I know you have to have some personal responsibility here because you have this big Discord thing, but like,
well, and I've had a few, it's crazy too, how the human brain works and focuses on things, and not that this has been impacting, but I had like one of the first streams I did. There was some guy who was trolling me the whole time. And I told him, I was like, what's your Top Shot address? I'll send you some of my Fred Van Vliets, like just as a joke. And he has been so upset about that in there. Like if you go to the Top Shot General, he's constantly talking about, he's calling me a grifter that I promised to send him his Fred Van Vliet. This guy hates me because he didn't know me. He didn't realize I'm fucking making a joke. This is a guy who's trolling me the whole show. I troll him back for 1 second and he loses his fucking mind. Yeah. I mean, these are the kind of people that are out there. And I'm like, I think within the DFS world, it like self-selects. People know my sense of humor. They know what I do, whatever. It's like people who like me, follow me, and who don't. And it works out great. But in this like new world, it became this whole chaotic thing.
Yeah. What is the policy there? Like, cause I'm like more lax on where I would have been. Like if someone was like rude to me or something like that, before I'd be like, fuck you, fuck it. How about you're fucking a piece of shit, block or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever blocked anyone, but like, I'm not going to, I don't have to deal with you.
Exactly.
You think I owe you something. I don't. Like you're delusional and that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And cause there's a lot of people like that still doesn't, I think, justify any variation, how I act or how I, you know, the way I want to let people know where I see value or how I think something's fun. Right? It shouldn't change anything. But like dealing with those people is definitely like, I think a side issue. I don't know.
Yeah. It's so weird too, because like on Twitter, I literally have 0 people blocked. If I don't want to deal with you, I just mute you and you can shout into the void. But I felt like with the Discord stuff, I feel like a level of ownership in my Discord of like, if someone's just being an asshole nonstop, yeah, you know, like it's not honestly for me. I can handle it, but it's the community members, the OG members who are like, this used to be a fun place to interact. Yeah. And now this guy's in it. And so, right. And no, and I will like, if I run into that, but this is just a new thing for me for how to handle this for other people, because I feel the burden for other people.
The thing in your Discord that I was seeing a lot is like, oh, well, the influencers will get the packs. Let's see how the influencers do. Have you seen that?
Trust me, I've seen it because Jacob from Top Shot came on the stream and he gave us 2 packs, 2 $9 packs. So I got $18. I've received $18 from Top Shot. And then there's screenshots of saying, I swear to God, if all the rich people like Peter Overs that get the packs, not to mention when I do streams with Jack in CSU who have hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in Top Shot compared to my like $10,000 in Top Shot. It's like people are fucking crazy, dude.
Petty just joined the chat. Petty, who got scratched that I didn't notice? And by the way, Peter talked shit about you as soon as you signed up. And I backed you up. So
yeah, the fact that I've got branded as the rich people, as the poorest man among the people I do shows with is such a rich irony. But yeah, so
the influencer stuff with the rich people, that always gives me, I don't even do the no toxicity on those because I kind of want to encourage them. No, I'm in there stoking the flames for the thing that's like breaking you apart inside.
Well, that's what I like too. I was like, guys, like I'm having fun. But if you guys are fucking losing your mind over $18 of promo packs, I mean, I got guys fucking setting alarms to wake up in the middle of the night to get $9 packs. And I'm like, look, I'm having fun. Top Shot is cool. But you're fucking setting your alarm to get a $9 pack? Like, chill the fuck out. Like, what the fuck
I'm all for that. I'm all for it, man. I love this.
You are not setting your alarm, Brian, at 3 in the morning
for crazy shit before. That's the only skill I had, I think, for anything I got good at was being obsessive with it. That's how I got good at everything I've ever gotten good at. Not that I don't know if you can get good at Top Shot, but maybe you could, and you could figure this marketplace out and make a buck.
Well, you gotta. That's the thing of like you're not only factoring in the EV of the pack. If you're setting your alarm at 3 a.m. for a $9 pack that is worth $36, you are saying like just think of the hourly rate you are assigning to your time. Like the hourly rate you are giving your own time is absurd.
This is the one time in the last 100 years though where people probably have a lot of free time. You might not have to go into work or work from home, but yes, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway,
those hours of sleep would be worth it.
I got to wrap this up. This is why I love Lolz, because we can talk to Millie Maker winners. We can talk about issues. You can get me to crack and talk about things that are on my mind. But Brian, I appreciate you in this show as always.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Thanks, Pat. Congrats again.
Yep. And
download our podcast, which I'll be putting up, whatever, like within the hour or so.
Yep. Support it. Even if you listen on the YouTube version, just download that pod. I download all my own pods and then swipe on them. I'm not one of those. Do you listen? I have so many shows, man. I can't listen back to myself.
And also, you're like obviously way better at this than me, so I want to listen to like at least occasionally be like, okay, what are you doing wrong here, dummy? That type of thing.
No. All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channels. We're still simulcasting this on both Brian and Mike's channel. We have the audio version down below. We are here consistently every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. See you next week. Thank you.